What's going on, YouTube? BxPolymath here. This is a review for the Harley-Davidson Street 750, but it's not a first ride. It's not going to be a test ride. This is an owner review. Yes, guys, you heard it right. I own this bad boy, and I've owned it for about 6 months already. Got this in October. It is middle of April here in New York City. So yeah, 6 months in, and I'll let you guys know what I think about it. Whether I think I made a great choice or not, and for you new riders out there, whether you guys should consider this bike or not. Alright, so let's get started, guys. So guys, before I get into anything else, before I even start driving this bad boy away, I'm sure you guys seen many review videos on the Harley-Davidson Street 750. I'm gonna do things a little differently. I'm gonna just point out the things that I've heard that are negative, and pretty much say whether or not these things are true or not, and then I'll mention whatever is positive about this bike, and then we'll take it from there. So one of the first things that everybody notices about this bike when they're just looking around, is the exposed cables. All right, so according to many, this is not Harley-Davidson standard, right? So just because of those cables, being exposed, they already think this bike is cheap and it's poorly made, poorly manufactured. It is what it is, like the cables are exposed. There are a couple things here and there that are pretty cheap, but at the end of the day, has this little badge on there. So is the Harley, right? So one thing for sure is that I can't compare this bike to anything else in the Harley lineup, right? This is a unique bike. This is made from scratch, from the ground up, right? You can't compare this to a Sportster. You can't compare this to pretty much anything else. The closest thing to this bike in terms of price is the Sportster 883, the Iron 883. But you can't compare it. It's like comparing like oranges and apples. You just can't do it. This is a completely different bike. All right, so cables exposed. The muffler, I don't know if you guys can see, SM stands for Street Merchant. I had to just change those out, man. Like the stock mufflers really sounded so bad. It literally sounded like a sewing machine, and it just, I don't know, it just didn't give me butterflies in my stomach once I sat down on the bike. We go around this side, make sure I don't get hit by a car or anything. Another thing, the horn. Look at the placement of it. So bad. Like, why would you do that? Anyways, these are some of the things that people mention about the bike that they don't like. Exposed cables, the stock pipe being a little too low. Another thing, let me come around and sit down on the bike actually to show you guys this. The stock mirrors, right? So you see the stock mirrors went here and here. They came out to about right here. All right, I'm a big guy. Listen, this bike is not geared towards me at all. This is a pretty small bike. It's compact. It's geared more towards smaller riders, new riders. Yes, I'm new. I was new at that point, but I wasn't small. I am 5 feet 11 inches, well over 250 pounds. This bike doesn't fit me in terms of traditional ridership, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable at all, So the only thing is the mirrors. I couldn't see anything. I just saw my shoulders, So I just had to go with the bar and mirrors, and kind of did a ghetto job on this. I don't know if you guys can see that, but stock handles. But anyways, with the stock mirrors, you can't see anything, and I've heard this, from pretty much every reviewer out there. You just can't see nothing. So why would you make a bike that you can't see nothing out of? I don't know. I guess they wanted you guys to spend more money and this and that. But anyways, on to the next thing before I start riding is the seat. Now the seat, pretty soft, I'm not gonna lie. It's great for quick trips, but man, I rode for about an hour, I would say, like a couple of months ago, and my ass was just on fire. Like I couldn't wait to just get off the bike and just stand up and stretch. I mean, holy moly, like it was just insane. So the seat way too soft, you know, for at least for a long touring. You know, if you're gonna just zip around town, drive around the city like I usually do currently, it's not that bad. But if you want to go on long trips, this seat does not cut it whatsoever. All right, now there's other things that people mention, but for that I'm gonna get on the bike and I'm gonna get moving. All right, so turn this bad boy on for you guys. Make sure I could be on first, it's okay. Yeah, that's that rumble. Damn, that sounds so beautiful, right? Woo! All right. Let's go. So yeah, guys, next thing people say they hate about this bike is the brakes. Now, listen, I've never ridden a different bike before. I mean, I've test rode the Iron 883. I've test ridden the what's that one called? The blanking out. The Sportster, oh, 48. There you go. Sorry, guys. Test rode the Sportster 48 with the 4 controls. I mean, I don't know. I guess compared to a sports bike, these brakes suck. But again, you guys can't compare this bike to any other bike. It just doesn't exist. This bike is completely new. I mean, so for me, honestly, the brakes are pretty okay, you know. I mean, not even okay, they're fine. Like, they work perfectly as indicated, and I stopped pretty well. It's not like I've never had an issue with braking before. So yeah, I don't know what the issue with the brakes, but for me, at least a real owner, I have no issues with the brakes whatsoever. Let's see, what else? We got this going. Try to get on the highway, actually. Anyway, so yeah, the brakes are fine for me. The instrument cluster right here, the gauge. I mean, it's a cheap bike, guys, so don't expect, like, you know, the best technology, you know. Don't expect this to be, there you go, see, yellow light, how to brake quick. Yeah, so don't expect all the top technology on this thing. It's just simply, you know, the speedometer. It doesn't even have a tach. It just tells you, you know, that's it, like pretty much your odometer. It doesn't have a fuel gauge. It doesn't have a range for fuel. It pretty much just tells you that your trip A, trip B, odometer. That's it. You know, it's a cheap Harley, you know, so don't expect everything else, you know, like the gear, what gear you're in, any of the other stuff, like oh, actually, now that I'm mentioning cluster, this does not have self-canceling indicators. So when you signal, you have to make sure you cancel. And I mean, listen, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but for me as a new rider, it wasn't that big of a deal. Let me get out of this truck's freaking way. Yeah, so as a new rider, it wasn't a big deal at all. Like, I got used to it pretty quickly. You know, people say that for new riders, it's better to just have the self-canceling, and believe it or not, I think they are right, because just like yesterday, I was in my car and I'm driving and I see this guy on a sports bike, and this guy literally had his left turn signal on, right? So I'm thinking he's getting in, but no, this guy is freaking lane splitting, left, right. His signal light is still to the left, and man, like couple of guys almost hit him. You know why? Because people think he's going left, when in reality he is not. Right? So I mean, yeah, it comes in handy to have self-canceling, but if you don't, I don't think it's a big deal, honestly. So yeah, guys. So I mean, like I said, this bike, you can't really compare it to nothing else. It's under 8,000. You know, after taxes and everything, if you finance it, it's gonna come up a little more than 8,000, but it's priced at retail under 8,000. There's about what, like 35 to 40 bikes in that price range. So you can go on with any other bike and you'll be all right. Man, it's freaking hot. So am I happy with this bike? Not really, you know. Listen, this is one of those bikes that either you love it or you hate it. You know, you can get this bike and you could love it. I mean, you could easily turn this into a cafe racer, no problem, and you'll be good to go. You know, like for me, like I'm a big guy. Cafe racers is just, you know, not that I can't ride one, but it's just not my style. You know, I just want to kind of like cruise. You know, that's why I got a cruiser to cruise. You know, I'm not gonna be racing out here or anything. I'm not gonna be popping wheelies or anything like that either. You know, so for me, this bike is a great starter bike. If you wanna pick this up, and if you wanna pick this bike up and learn on it, by all means, like go for it. Like it's 750cc. It's a little powerful, you know, so just be careful with the throttle. But once you get used to it, it's a perfect bike. Has plenty of power. But just in terms of looks, I kind of don't like it. And I could make it look the way I want, but it's just, you know, you got to spend more money into it. I already spent money on the muffler. I already spent money on better looking mirrors. Like, you know, you can just go on and on. And believe it or not, that's with every bike. I mean, I could get another bike tomorrow and have to change something on it, you know. So, but I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. From an owner's perspective, this bike is great. Nothing wrong with it. Like, it's pretty smooth. You know, I could shift gears and you don't hear that clunk like the usual Harleys, you know. But just for my personal style, guys, I mean, I'm just not 100% satisfied. And when you're not 100% satisfied, you kind of want to just jump ship and change it up, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what I'm gonna get after this. If I'm being 100% honest, I'll probably keep this bike for a little while longer. I'll keep this bike for a little longer, but yeah, I definitely want to move up to something else. Maybe like a Dyna series, you know? But I mean, that's gonna come way down the line because those bikes are expensive. But anyways, guys, so I mean, that's pretty much my review. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, please like it, share it, and then ultimately I would like for you guys to subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna have a lot of videos coming up soon. You know, this is literally just my third video, so you know, kind of just learning with the flow, going with the flow and learning by trial and error. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Oh, you see, look, I left my signal light on for a while. Yeah, man, self-canceling, that's where it's at. Anyways, fellas and ladies, talk to you guys later.